Hello everyone, welcome to TechTalk with Nathan. If you are here, you are interested in the topic like DevOps, cloud, Kubernetes, and real-world infrastructure topics. So I will share with you in a simple and practical way how you can use different technologies to enable your daily work. In this video, I want to explain you what Kubernetes is really and why Kubernetes exists. And I will deploy a real example, real demo about an application. Very simple. So if you are new in Kubernetes, so this video is for you. But if you already know about the Kubernetes, you'll be more interested in next videos that I will be making. So let's start. First of all, before moving, I want to answer the question, why Kubernetes? Let's start with this simple question. Why do you even need Kubernetes? Imagine that you have a web application running a Docker container, and that's great. It's running well, but you will face some challenges until your container start crashing. You have suddenly traffic that increases, but you want to scale your application, or you want to deploy a new version, and you don't want a downtime, so you want zero downtime. Now imagine that you want to deploy 10, 50, or even 500. So that's where Kubernetes comes in. With Kubernetes, you can orchestrate all your containers. In simple terms, Kubernetes helps you to keep your application running. Kubernetes also can restart if the application fails, if your container fails, and it can scale containers when the traffic increases. You can also deploy safely. If you want to deploy a new version, you have different methods to do it without downtime. Now, what are the core components of Kubernetes? Here, I will not deep dive in very detail the core component, but I will give you three main core components that you must know as a beginner in Kubernetes. The first concept that you must know about Kubernetes is pod. A pod is the smallest unit in Kubernetes. And with a pod, you can deploy one or more containers. So, but usually when you use Kubernetes, very rarely you will be deploying just an application with a pod. That's where the second component comes in, which is deployment. So a deployment is a way in Kubernetes you usually will deploy pod, and with the deployment you can run multiple images, you can run many replicas, updates, choose a way that you want to update your application safely. Now we have talked about the pod and you are talking about deployment. Let's talk about the last one. The last one, I mentioned three. The third one is a service. Why we need services? First of all, when you deploy a pod in a Kubernetes environment, you will get an IP address. With that IP address, you can get access to your container. But the problem is this IP address is very temporary. So what happens is you need something that is consistent and persistent. That's where the service comes in. With a service, you have a stable IP and you also have a stable DNS name. You can use, and the service also help you to load balancer across different pods. So to summarize, we talked about pod, deployment, and service. So let's deploy something for the sake of demo. First of all, I don't have currently the Kubernetes running. You see, nothing is coming. So what I will be doing is I have installed, there are many ways to run Kubernetes locally. So you can, but we will be using Minikube. If you Minikube start, there are many options that you can use with it, but for the sake of the demo, we will do. So I will stop the video and I will come back when Minikube has spin up a new cluster. So now the cluster has been provisioned. The cluster has been provisioned now. Let us check. First of all, I will check to see if everything is okay. So you can see that we have the Kubernetes status is ready to receive any request. So what I will be doing is I will just run a pod. I will create a deployment. Okay. With Nginx image. Okay. Now let's check the deployment. The pods are being created. So as I said, here you see that we have an IP address. This IP address is ephemeral. Like if I restart the deployment, it will change the IP address. Let us restart the deployment and you see. Let us see the pod. You see the new pod is already there. Here we had 3 and here you can see that the new IP is 4. So to make the IP address persistent, we will need to create a service. There are different ways to create a service using kubectl expose command to do this. So in the Kubernetes world, there's 2 ways of creating object. You can use imperative way or declarative way. So right now I'm using imperative way. Let's expose the pod. Let's expose the pod. kubectl expose deployment and Nginx. So expose with the node ports, the type node port. So if you want to see different option, you see here that type you can choose cursor IP, node port, load balance. So let's check the IP address. This is the one. So if we do curl the IP of MuleCube, the port is, this is the node port. You can see that we successfully installed Nginx. Before we end the demo, I want to introduce the scaling. If you do kubectl scale deployment and deployment Nginx, and you want 3 replicas, now you see that 2 more port has been created. We have now 3 replicas, and I can describe the service. You will see so you see here that on the endpoint we have 3 ports. So if you check, you have 4, 5, 6. You have 4, 5, and 6. As we did previously, you can like curl, we will get our application. So thank you for watching what we just built. We first of all explain Kubernetes, and then we create a deployment that creates pods. We have exposed the deployment with the service, and then we try to scale it. In the next session, I will show you how you can access externally the pod via what we call Ingress. And Ingress use HTTP or HTTPS protocol. So we will do a demo on that. For now, thank you for watching, and see you in the next demo.